Hi, this is Charles 9mm, and I got another great product to show you. It's the Merrell Trail Glove. All I can say is, oh my gosh, we'll get to that in just a minute. I just want to introduce that once again, my special guest is the Rambling Chronic PK from the Rambling Chronic PK podcast on iTunes. He is here today to help me review this shoe. He's also an owner of a pair of trail the trail gloves made by Merrell, and we're going to discuss this shoe. So, how are you today?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing well.
Okay, we're going to talk about another shoe. We seem to be on a kind of a trend here, doing a lot of shoe reviews. But that's great. Shoes are great.
I love them and love to run.
And a lot of people have said, hey, every pair of shoes that you've reviewed, you've loved, and what's the deal with that? Well, we got some negative ones coming up, I think, but not this one.
Not this one.
There, I have nothing negative to say about this shoe. I might explain, as we've said in other podcasts, that the Rambling Chronic PK and I are both minimalist shoe wearers, and we're always on the hunt for a good running shoe. Now, the Trail Glove is a very unique shoe made by Merrell. And let's start with the sole. We always start with the sole. It really, if you can see, this shoe really encourages a forefoot landing. And for you barefoot runners, minimalist runners out here, that's critical, because it's going to be very, very difficult to do heel bashing, heel crashing.
It would be terrible in these shoes, but I will say
difficult to do, though.
They lean forward in such a way that they really promote you.
They really promote it. Now, you'll see people do this with a pair of shoes, minimalist shoes. They'll bend them like that. To me, that means nothing. What I want to see is that. That's what I want to see in a shoe. I could care less if you could roll them up and stick them in your pocket. If you can't do that, they aren't worth anything. That's what makes a barefoot shoe. That's what makes a minimalist shoe, right there. Now, let's look at the heel for a second. These have almost a zero heel drop. Now, this section here is really kind of fools you, because you think that's foam. That's really just an outer heel cup. It just stabilizes the heel and keeps the heel on top of the sole. Because when I first saw that, I thought, is that cushion? But it's not.
It helps a little bit with foot rolling, which I tend to do just
pronating.
A little bit. So it does kind of help stop the pronating if you are someone who's prone to do that, just a little.
Just a little bit. The other thing I want to mention about this shoe is the enormous toe box, and this is big to me. If I can't get a wide toe box, I don't want the shoes. And there is ample room here for me. They give me a lot of real estate, because I want to be able to spread those toes wide, and I can do it in these shoes. There's plenty of room. That's what I love, absolutely love about these shoes. Did you have the same? Do you have the same requirements for a shoe?
I do, and there's a certain feel, which it's hard to show on the inside, but there's a certain feel in the way that I land, because I come landing down this way, where I tend to want to push my foot in here if something's got my toes held together like that, and having a wide toe box keeps me from really slamming my toenails into the thing. And that's such an issue for me right now. In another pair of shoes, I actually have a black and blue toenail from that very thing happening.
So black toenails could be prevented, at least with you. You find that because of the base, your toe base, when you land midfoot, it isn't driving the foot forward into the shoe, and it's stabilizing it, and there's plenty of room for that.
That is correct.
And it's not that the shoes are fitting sloppy, it's how your foot is moving forward.
That is correct.
Impact, when it's in compressed state.
And I have been fitted, and I have tried moving a half step up and a half step back, and it's not really so much the size of the shoe, it's strictly the actual shape and function of the front of the shoe that causes mine to either get injured or not.
How would you like these on the trail?
I like them. They are, you do tend to feel a little bit more, but being a minimalist runner, there is an advantage on the trail for that as well. if you're running on certain rock and certain terrain, you can actually make quick adjustments in these, which I like because I don't tend to twist my feet as much.
So you'd say there's a lot of sensory feedback, as minimalist people say.
That's well said. Yes.
Lots of sensory. Well, we're going to give this one an 8+. I know I am. Do you agree with that as well?
I do agree. I like the way that it feels. I don't want to skip this part because I really like the way that it laces up here. It's just the way that my foot is made, and I don't ask me why. I don't have a technical term, but it's just the way that these things lace up around the midfoot.
Really goes around.
Feels good
really grabs the arch, pulls up in there like a nice fitting sock. It looks like a big old clunky shoe, but it's not. The shoe is extremely lightweight. It's very flexible and wraps that part of the foot right around the instep there when you lace it up, and it feels more like a sock than a shoe. And that's what works for me. And I think that might be, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that seems to be what we're discussing. Would you say that?
Yes, sir. I would agree with that.
And Merrell, boy, hit one out of the park with this one. What a wonderful shoe. And I can't wait to see the road shoe in this, which is coming up.
Great.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Merrell, A+, the barefoot trail, the trail glove, wonderful. Thank you. Bye-bye.